People will believe anything if you repeat it enough. This is easy enough to observe in real life, but much easier to prove when it comes to fiction. Fandoms have a habit of gaslighting themselves into believing all sorts of things, and I've never really seen this phenomenon more prevalent than I do in the Naruto fandom. To this day, you can still find people who will tell you with absolute confidence that the Uzumaki clan was wiped out by Iwa, Kumo, and Kiri working together, even though we don't actually know who's responsible. People will insist that Naruto was originally about hard work versus talent, though that's a topic for another video. Or that Kakashi was a bad teacher because of that one time he decided to focus on the student who was the murder target of like 3 S-class ninja. There are still people who think Sasuke actively wanted to fight the 5 Kage when Zetsu literally threw them at him with no warning after purposefully botching what was essentially an infiltration mission. Some ideas get repeated so often that people wind up believing they are undeniable facts. Which brings us to the topic of this video. The Naruto fandom gaslighting itself into believing Sasuke Uchiha is arrogant. Now of course, you're free to interpret Sasuke's character however you want. I can't control that. What I can control is my ability to make this video looking over Sasuke's character as I see it, as well as pointing out some things that some people say that are just plain wrong. Somehow, a not insignificant portion of the Naruto community has managed to convince itself that Sasuke used to go around bragging about his power and looking down on everyone. And it's weird. I've seen people claim Sasuke said things in scenes where he keeps his mouth shut in order to support this claim, and all I can think is, Sasuke does not talk to people enough to do half the things people say he does. Maybe that's it. Maybe his silence comes off as him being arrogant. This is especially obvious when you read fanfiction that involves rewriting scenes, and it becomes glaringly blatant how authors have to rewrite Sasuke's personality and actions to match this description. I've never seen someone arrogantly say someone else is better than them before, but fanon Sasuke can accomplish the impossible. I mean, does Sasuke take pride in his ability? Yes. But it isn't really that much more than other characters take pride in theirs. He even engages in very occasional trash talk, but only if his opponent pisses him off enough or goads him into it. The only time Sasuke brings up the power of the Uchiha clan in all of part 1 is to Rock Lee, who wanted to fight him specifically because he's an Uchiha. A lot of people hype up his clan, but he only does it when someone else does it first. You can call his speech to Orochimaru in Shippuden arrogant, but he was only saying that because Orochimaru was an evil bastard he wanted to tear down, who'd spent the last 2.5 years staring at Sasuke's eyeballs and licking his lips. Pause. Even later, when he's not trying to hurt Orochimaru's feelings, he has no problem admitting he only won because Orochimaru was sick. And I should not have to explain Danzo. Honestly, Sasuke only talking shit in response to other people doing so or being morally bankrupt, at least from his perspective, is oddly consistent. Meanwhile, characters like Deidara, Killer Bee, A and Mei are lucky if they get so much as an introduction out of him. And don't get me started on his relationship with Naruto. People talk about Sasuke, but they never mention how most of the time when he opens his mouth to talk about power, it's to Naruto who openly antagonizes him over it. This dynamic is established in Sasuke's first appearance and the birth of Sasuke's affectionate nickname for Naruto. Naruto called Sasuke a loser, Iruka pointed out the difference in their position in class, and Sasuke used that to turn it back on Naruto. There's a reason Sasuke only behaves like this with Naruto and no one else. It's because everyone else who's trying to goad him like this is also trying to kill him. Like I said, Sasuke takes pride in his ability, but there's a difference between arrogance and confidence. Sasuke doesn't think he's a better ninja than Naruto and Sakura in the first half of part 1. He is a better ninja than them. But even then, that doesn't stop him from working together with them as a team while acknowledging their strengths when they aren't actively annoying him. Him acknowledging his own skill is no more arrogant than Rock Lee declaring he's stronger than Sasuke or Naruto declaring he's the strongest wind style user in the Shinobi Alliance. From the very first major arc in the show, we see that Sasuke isn't that arrogant. He's literally the reason Team 7 passed the teamwork test. And remember the tree climbing exercise? The same exercise that Sakura finished before everyone and that he finished at the exact same time as Naruto? Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think a character with arrogance as a defining trait would ask for advice from people he supposedly looks down on, then be smiling about finishing at the same rate as the class clown, and then help them back to the house they are staying at. They'd probably be more upset about that. And don't even get me started on the fights people use. First, Rock Lee vs Sasuke. So, an older, more experienced student picked a fight with Sasuke, specifically because he wanted to prove he could beat the last Uchiha, even resorting to using a forbidden technique to try and do so, and somehow losing is Sasuke being humbled. In what way exactly? Sasuke is specifically at the Chunin exams to test himself against strong opponents. Yes, he's frustrated at losing, but he ends the scene smiling because this is what he wants. He even has a list of people he describes as monsters. Sasuke specifically agreed to fight Lee because he wanted to see how he was so strong in a way he wasn't familiar with. Turns out, it was just being stupidly physically strong. Even saying it's to stop Sasuke from thinking his Sharingan makes him unbeatable isn't right, because he's never acted like he thinks that, and he already almost died after unlocking it. Where's this high horse Sasuke is being knocked off of exactly? Just because Naruto is constantly complaining when Sasuke does literally anything from sit quietly in a corner to even helping him doesn't make it true. Then there's Taka vs Killer Bee, the fight where people ignore the fact that this is a team battle, because if they acknowledge that, then they can't call Sasuke getting help from that team plot armor. For the life of me, I can't see how this fight is an example of arrogance. He was given a mission to fight a stronger ninja, took his whole team as backup, and barely said anything. But to hear some people describe it, you think he pulled up to Kumo with an Uchiha parade, boldly declaring his greatness before trying to fight Killer Bee one-on-one. Do we just call every character that struggles in a fight against a superior opponent being humbled now? Did Obito humble KCM1 Naruto when they fought at the beginning of the war arc? I really feel that this is a case of people who don't like Sasuke's character enjoying seeing him get beat up, but also feeling the need to invent extra reasons to justify that enjoyment. Of course, Sasuke has his arrogant moments. Almost everyone overestimates themselves or underestimates their opponents at one point or another, but not enough for it to be considered a notable character trait, and he has moments of the opposite. Telling Sakura she's better at seeing genjutsu than him to make her feel better, going to the Chunin exam specifically because he wanted to fight strong ninja and even having a list of them that he put Naruto on, nearly dying to save his teammates twice, even knowing he's giving up on his dream to do so. His motivation in the Sasuke retrieval arc can be boiled down to doesn't think he's good enough. Literally assembling Taka so they can help him reach his goal because he knew he couldn't do it alone. Admitting he only beat Orochimaru because he was sick. I'm not saying Sasuke is humble or anything, I'm just saying you can't call him arrogant of certain moments and then ignore other moments like this. Even when Sasuke is at his most insane at the 5 Kage summit, he's only bringing up his clan because he's there about them being massacred, and he keeps meeting people who shove their eyeballs in their bodies and got stronger from it. Like Orochimaru before them, this is just based on thinking they're bad people, which, you know, Danzo is. It does raise a question of how much he actually knows about where Kakashi's Sharingan comes from though. And to address another misconception, many people are under the impression Sasuke left Konoha because Naruto was stronger than him. But that's clearly not the case when you consider Sasuke's own thoughts on Naruto's strength before and after chapter 147. This is after the Gaara fight, and Sasuke has been flabbergasted by how powerful Naruto can be. But his main concern is achieving that level of power for himself, not trying to convince himself that he's still stronger than Naruto. So, what changes? Oh right, the most important yet somehow under-acknowledged moment in the series for understanding why Sasuke leaves Konoha. This scene pretty much resets all of Sasuke's emotional progress to zero and convinces himself that he's too weak. So, having just woken up from a coma, he gets in his head that he has to beat Naruto. Then he sees the difference in the damage done to the water tank by their attacks, a difference that's actually caused on the different effects on their jutsu on water, and continues to convince himself that he's weak, even though if he takes a moment to calm down, he'd probably remember that his Chidori has a similar effect on solid rock wall. But to Sasuke, he absolutely has to be strong, not because he wants to feel superior, but because he wants to avenge his clan. And we all know what happens next. To say Sasuke left because he couldn't handle that Naruto is stronger than him is to grossly misread the situation. Before the Tsukuyomi, Sasuke is never upset by how strong Naruto gets. Look at his reaction to learning Naruto beat the guy who's stronger than Lee. Ignore the hair. Naruto's strength isn't a problem because it means Sasuke is no longer stronger than him. It's a problem because it means Sasuke is growing at a snail's pace compared to the boy he once acknowledged as a worthy opponent. Look, Sasuke has many issues and flaws you can point to at various points in the series. Rude, inferiority complex, impatience, anger issues, PTSD, not valuing his life, whatever medical term you call spending a day watching your parents get murdered on loop. You can even take umbrage with how much everyone else in the series sucks him off. I can recognize all of these things, but arrogance is not really one of them. But what about you? Are there any examples of people believing something about a character that you just don't see? Tell me in the comments below, and if you've made it this far, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content, and check out the playlist for more Naruto videos. Thank you, and good day.